Evil Geniuses Idra and Cloud from Team Meet Your Makers. This is going to be an awesome, awesome match. It's a Zerg versus Terran. I cannot wait. Idra feels very confident in his ZVT. It's not ZVP where you've heard him gripe and groan just a little bit. ZVT, he always says, "Oh, I win that."
But Cloud is pretty confident himself. He is known as one of the strongest Terran versus Zergs in all of Europe. I mean, when we're talking about someone that to model for Terran versus Zerg, I look to Cloud. I look on a lot of different sites and I say, okay, let me see how to play Terran versus Zerg. And he always shows me. I mean, he's had a record against Idra as well. He's done pretty well. I've seen a lot of replays of him taking out top players, including Idra. And you know, he's going to bring his game face on today.
Yep.
I don't expect him to do anything less.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. I think he's actually incredibly underrated that way, and I think a large part of that's because we are from North America, and over here we don't hear too much about all the Europeans except for the super big names. But Cloud is, I've actually heard he's the best TVZ from Europe, and you know, of course, that's not. There's no way to substantiate that just yet. But this will be a big test. Idra, widely considered one of the best foreigner Zergs, if not the best foreigner Zerg. They're both sitting at 1-0 in the group. Cloud did beat Pain User, and Idra was able to edge out Sock. So both these players looking to... I mean, one of them's going to go undefeated in the group, and the other one's going to fall down to 1-1. This has to be considered one of the marquee matchups for today. And, of course, this is the group of death, so it's very easy to look at all of them and be like, well, that one's the best one, that one's the best. No, I mean, it's easy to do that, but I will put my my neck on the line a little bit. I'm going to say that this is one of the marquee matchups. Now, let's talk about the maps real quick and how it pertains to the matchup. Tal'Darim Altar, Metalopolis, and Crevasse to round it out. What do you think about that?
Well, these players did play on 2 of the 3 maps. They played on Metalopolis and Crevasse last week. We introduced Tal'Darim Altar to them, and I think that's going to help quite a bit. I mean, we're going to see macro games. We're going to see macro games, of course. Yeah. It's going to help Idra, in my opinion.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
Idra is known as the macro Zerg. However, if it's anything like yesterday, where every single Terran got great spawning locations, we might see a little bit of a... I mean, close positions Metalopolis comes to mind, and if on Tal'Darim Altar, if your opponent is counterclockwise to you, that's good position.
It's good for a push. It's good for a push.
Yes.
I mean, so there is a little bit of a map susceptibility here, if you will. Close position Metalopolis would be really tough for Idra. Crevasse, not too much necessarily there. It is a little problematic. The Terran does get 6 gas as well, so we'll have to see how that pertains to their play in that, their style, if you will. But that's a match to be excited about. And you know what? I think we're done talking about it. Let's just get right into that game because I can't wait.
There it is.
I am many excited, Retorb. It is Meet Your Makers Cloud versus Evil Geniuses Idra. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
This is probably going to be one of the best... Well, I'm not going to jinx it.
I know. We have that cosmic power.
We have that cosmic power.
This is going to be so amazing!
This is going to be so... Oh. Mara just teased every
Cloud made
single
19
game.
barracks off of 1 base.
We just went into a huge discussion how Mara is the biggest macro player ever.
That's true. I definitely did do that.
I agreed with you the whole time. Remember, I said, indeed. Indeed.
Yeah, whatsoever.
Indeed.
Come on, Battle.net. I want to watch some games. Top left-hand corner, the Red Zerg. Evil Geniuses Idra. Release the Kraken. And in the top right-hand corner, we do have the Blue Terran. Meet Your Makers Cloud, which, by the way, I gotta say, I mean, I'm pretty biased. I mean, I'm partial to...
Dude.
I'm,
See,
Give a
this is what
pause.
happens when you say that. This is what happens when you say that.
It gives me a chance to clarify what I was going to say, though. Evil
A pause?
Geniuses, pretty cool name for a team. I like that. But Meet Your Maker is so damn, like... That's
Wow.
badass.
Yeah.
That is badass. I'm sorry.
Basically, they're saying they're gods.
Meet Your Maker.
Yeah.
It's like something you could legitimately say at the end of an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie 10 years ago.
Or after a Street Fighter competition. Yeah. I would do that. Meet your maker. I just 2
What would you say?
Meet your maker. I just 2-0'd you with Ken.
Nicolas Cage has found his replacement for movies. Stand down, Nicolas Cage.
Hey.
We have Andre Hangchwa.
I like Nicolas Cage. In Ghost Rider, he was really good.
No. In Kick-Ass, he was good. I liked him in Kick-Ass.
National Treasure was good. I like
The first one.
The first one, yes, I agree.
Second one was like, dude, how do you mess that up?
I
Like,
know. Well, yeah, the first one was riveting. The second one was...
it was terrible.
But Ghost Rider, definitely would never have seen that.
Yeah, and I was sad too because that's actually one of the cooler superheroes you could make a movie out of.
Mm-hmm.
Flaming skull on a motorcycle from hell, and they somehow made it kind of goofy. Like it was like he fought like a weird vampire demon thing that the lights turned off.
I tried
when
to
you walked
watch
by
it. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't. It was just so bad.
It was a little disappointing.
I'm sorry, Nicolas Cage. You're still with me.
Gone in 60 Seconds, amazing movie. The Rock, one of my favorite movies.
Oh my gosh, with
Really
Sean Connery?
good movies.
Yeah.
Yes. And he did well in them too, which is weird. But then there's like The Wicker Man and
It's hit or miss, sir.
Bangkok,
Hit or miss.
something.
Oh, don't talk
For
about
him, it's not
Thailand.
hit or miss. It's like
It's my home country.
big,
Gotta
like
be careful.
the hit or excuse me, the miss is he makes a good movie. I would say. All right, so it looks like Cloud might be ready.
All right, and then we go back in. So, just to recap, 37 seconds into the game.
Yeah, he still just has the
Top right-hand corner.
It's still Idra and it's still Cloud.
Yeah, we still got the same players, but this is a huge advantage. Idra is moving over here
All
with
right.
an...
Okay, calm down. I know we're really excited that we fixed the mics and everything, but
I'm just trolling people, man.
I know.
It's my only pastime other than StarCraft.
Well, tell me about these positions, though. I think Idra's natural is facing the
That's what I was
Terran.
talking
Didn't
about.
we talk about
Yeah,
that?
counterclockwise. If Terran is clockwise to the Zerg,
Yeah.
it sucks for Zerg. The push is so much faster, and getting those tanks in good position, so easy, man.
It is.
It's no problemo.
The style I like against that kind of push, though, is the Mutiling Baneling.
Yeah,
I
of
feel like
course.
they're able to cut off reinforcements. They're able to edge out the tanks when they're not covered. And then one bioslip and the Banelings detonate all over it, and then that's pretty much GG. So in these positions, yes, it is harder for Idra, but I feel like if there's a Zerg who I have confidence can hold off a Marine tank timing, I would give it to Idra. The things that worry me about Idra's ZVT are kind of he stays on the Ling Baneling mutant a little bit too long, so like when Thors get mixed in there, if he makes one magic box mistake with his mutas, they just evaporate, and that's really the strength of your attack. But also, early game shenanigans. And it's interesting. He's been asked about that in a lot of interviews. People are like, "Hey, do you think you're bad in the early game?" And he's like, "No, I'm actually just such a great player that more people try to cheese me, so you see me lose in the early games more." And I think that's actually valid analysis. I think that's actually pretty true. But it doesn't look like Cloud's opting for that just yet. Now, of course, in TVZ, you don't have to like proxy racks to be your cheese or your kind of like early game shenanigans. There's all kinds of stuff. Cloak Banshee, weird bio timings. We saw TLO make, 6 barracks off of one base? Of course, we're not going to see that here, but basically my point is the Terran is dangerous in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of ambiguity for the Terran if they wall off. We also saw that with Select against Cats, where Select did a 4 barracks pressure. And it was really effective. He was able to take Cats out pretty decisively.
And he does that a lot, I've noticed. I caught the IPL games, the Fantastic League. They showed Select versus Evil Genius's Machine. And a lot of people are like, man, Machine got outclassed, he don't belong, oh my gosh, he got brutalized. He did get beasted, but Select plays fast and furious in the early portion of the game. I mean, I don't mean to take away from Cloud, but I guess what we're trying to say is that in the early portion of the game, Terran's strong and Select plays to that, which is kind of cool.
Yes. But a little bit about this game. I'm kind of interested. A tech lab is going down for Cloud. So, more likely than not, we might be seeing... Well, he does know it's close position, so he might start that tank count immediately. But no, it's going to be Blue Flame Hellion. A very risky Blue Flame Hellion, I do want to add.
Well, he only has the one gas, so that's what had me leaning towards more like a Blue Flame Hellion opening.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of... I agree with you. I think this dies to any kind of Roach opening whatsoever. But I feel like he's reading Idra. Again, there's this, we're preparing for our opponents. Oh my gosh, those links get in? They do.
That is a big...
That's a really good read. That Tech Lab is a sell. And with the Hellion coming out of it, there's nothing else this can be, especially with the one gas. So Idra, on this giant map, could not be more prepared for this. I would have to even think that Cloud needs to abandon this. I don't think he will, but we saw some of that. We saw, who was it? It was Nada. Did he get scanned and he canceled his cloak upgrade?
Cloak?
Against DDE? I feel like it was.
Might have been. I don't remember.
I think that's a good play, though, because once it gets scouted, what's it going to do?
No, it wasn't him, was it? It was someone else. It wasn't him. I don't remember who it is now. It was a TVT.
Yeah.
Metalopolis, 9 and 6 o'clock positions. I can't remember.
Maybe it was Boxer.
Might have been Boxer.
One of those guys. But anyways, I just like that play. I mean, of course, the Blue Flame Hellion in this matchup does have longevity. There's utility to be had there, meaning, later in the game, Ling Baneling is still prevalent, and mixing in Blue Flame Hellions can do a lot for your composition.
Uh-oh. Hellions look like they're just moving past
Queen's
them.
Trying to get up. Oh, nice though. Oh my gosh, that is so good. One does get in, though, so watch for this. This can do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Drone's being pulled. They do pin it. Couple of free hits. He's got to move him back now.
Oh, nice play by Idra.
Yeah, and that Link's
back
just taking the damage.
And he's gonna
kill.
One kill. That's terrible.
Well,
terrible.
Zerg will take that trade any day,
Yes.
man.
Yes. Because keep in mind, it's not 300 minerals that he loses. It's 300 minerals plus opportunity cost, potential siege tanks, plus the Infernal Pre-Igniter, another opportunity cost. You could have gotten a faster factory, faster upgrade with a stim, anything like that. But Cloud, he's not looking too good. Now Zerglings, they do run in.
You know what Cloud did? He goes, "Hey Greg, I got 3 Hellions. I'll sell them to you for 10 drones." Greg goes, how about 1 drone? Cloud says, "Okay." And then they made the trade.
4 Zerglings.
It's like an open market. Oh, and 4 Zerglings?
4 Zerglings.
Crap, I have to do that whole satire again. We'll work on it tonight.
I know.
I'll get that script up and everything. Now, Idra's staying on 2 bases quite a while here, and he does have the Spire at about 75%. I feel like this is a little bit towards the map in the sense that his third is just now being, it's blocked by these destructible rocks, so he's got to take it down. So he wants the faster mutas.
Yeah.
And against the opening of Cloud, that's going to put him on his back foot for a little bit here. He does not have medevacs out, only the 2 tanks. And his Marines in total is 10. Well, 3 tanks, I guess, but not a huge production here. Not a lot. And in fact, he's just sitting on the 3 barracks. The 4th one will complete. And a reactor has been initiated. So I think this is going to scale fairly nicely for Idra in the sense that his mutas will be in the base of Cloud, who's just now starting his engineering bay.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem for Cloud. And I love this decision to go Mutalisks. 10 Mutalisks are in queue for Idra.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a big difference than we saw from, let's say, Katz's game against Select.
Yeah,
Katz opted for the Infestor. And in these positions, you just cannot go Infestor. You don't have the room to, you don't have the time to either. And these Mutalisks, as you said before, they're great for mobility. They zone out a lot of your opponent if you're trying to push. So it can be very advantageous for you to get these mutas.
Here they come. They're in here. That first missile turret under construction. It will be halted. SCV does perish. Making their way to that mineral line. 2nd SCV, 3rd SCV, 4th. I'm not going to do the neutral cast. I want to just count them all down. But quite a few SCVs going down here. Marines are going to chase off these mutas, but Idra, one of the things that makes his ZVT so strong is he does not give up with the mutas. He will find the hole, and he will get in there, and he will make it hurt. That is so inappropriate. Sorry. What did you think I meant? I'm talking about Mutalisks here, man.
That's what...
No. Okay, now Cloud making his way across the map. No medevacs here. This is kind of an impromptu push. This is coming out at a precarious time, though. Idra does not have Baneling speed, but look at the difference. We talked about this yesterday. Look at that creep. That creep is up against those tanks.
I love it. And now Mutas, I think the Muta count's just too high. Look at that. He's able to pick off all the tanks, and now he should be able to isolate some of these Marines, but basically the tanks can't get into this optimal position. It looks like, ooh, he has Baneling speed as well.
Cloud's in trouble.
Here we go! And the Banelings are gonna connect!
Big connection! And again, he tried to elevate Marines up top, but they're isolated and they are dead, Greetorp.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I mean, there's a couple tanks down there. They're just going to play this pretty safe, though. He's just using his mutas. I mean, look at how healthy they are, too. They're not even a hit.
Yep.
There's like 2 in orange. One does go down, though. It's a little bit too far
They're
forward.
just going to wait for another Zergling round. You can see Zerglings are created. No Banelings morph just yet, but I don't think...
Good rally from Cloud, though. Look at this. I mean, he's just streaming across the map. And that's what he has to do for this to work.
Oh, and here's another nice siege tank pickoff. I mean, this is one of the huge problems with having the siege tanks on this side, and having the mutas up on, or so many mutas up like this. And now the mutas just have their way with Cloud.
There's actually a couple Marines up there. I don't like that. Idra's respecting this almost too much. There we go. So now he can actually pick that off. And there's 3 Marines down there shooting, but he like is backing away from him. Idra, I gotta give you. Well, you know, I'm gonna let the man play.
Yeah,
let the man play.
Let him play. The show will go on.
There's actually a deceiving amount of Marines down there, though. They're like tucked into the trees and stuff. It's a little bit of a guerrilla warfare. And this is what I like. This is from Brood War. Cut off the reinforcements line. And see how they're just streaming in? And those Marines stem, but that's like a 1/4 of their health, and they all go down. There it is. No reinforcements.
And that's a complete round of units.
And they can't hit anything.
Idra has. Idra should push in momentarily.
He will. He won't let this hatch
like
down.
Another round of Marines, and I love this. Love it, Idra. You are playing phenomenal.
Goes down. Full load.
You are playing phenomenal.
They just got to get up there, though. This hatchery doesn't have much longer to go, and here we go.
Looks like a big push. And Banelings don't even need to connect. They don't even need to connect. Look at how strong.
Fatality.
Yeah,
sorry, I'm playing Mortal Kombat.
I know, you are playing Mortal Kombat way too
game.
much. I can't even get your attention anymore. The hatchery, 77 life. If he went any later, he would have been in deep,
yeah, it was like 2 shots away from being dead. If you look at the income tab, Idra is down. 43 harvesters to the 54. And this is where Cloud's play is just so phenomenal. Great attack. He did lose his whole army, but it allowed him to get the economical advantage, at least for now. And if you look, he's not even that fragile. Tanks spaced out, a lot of production going down. One of the problems for him, though, that I do feel a little bit worried about. No, never mind. There's that command center. Oh, no! Gotta mine the mutas, man. All he's trying to do is kill some rocks, Greg. Or Idra.
Now, do keep in mind in the army tab, Idra is soaring in his army composition, or rather, just his army worth. And we're gonna see. I mean, he is behind in the economy, but it only takes a little bit to get back. I don't think that Cloud has a great way of dealing with these mutalisks. He needs to Thor out. The Thor is going to be extremely slow in coming out. It's 16-minute mark. You cannot be waiting that long for a Thor unless you have the constant pressure. And I just do not see... I mean, Idra should be capitalizing on this third. He should not let this come up. He has great army composition. And I think if he lets this go up, it's just allowing Cloud to get back into this.
Well, I absolutely agree with you. I think one of the other big problems for Idra right now is that because he's kind of rebuilding drones and he's in that weird stage where he's kind of recovered from a push, he's almost completely forgot about upgrades. We do have +1 melee, but nothing else. And right now, the Terran's only sitting at 1-0 in attack, but armor's about to complete, +2 attack is about halfway there. If this goes any further, 2-2, 3-3 Marines, that's the stuff of nightmares for sure.
Very scary. See, he's coming into position and will take off some SCVs, but more importantly, the engineering bay is being shot down.
It's dead.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's big. That's huge. Really good choice by Idra. Because he is so far behind in upgrades, he needed to do something like that.
Oh my goodness, that would be another huge win for him, but he is not going to.
Maybe another day.
But he has the ability to. He just needs to be careful because he doesn't want
he's going for the fight.
So long, but LOL on the Marines, and now the armor will go down. That is a big pickoff. The reason why you don't want your armory to die because it delays your plus upgrades even more.
Yeah.
And upgrades, I mean, we've talked about it time and time again. Upgrades are how you play this matchup. You need to get your upgrades.
Idra moving on to his 4th base to put him up a base against the Terran. But the big story here is that Cloud is just not handling this Muta Harass back here. He just now is running off with some Marines. I think that is a sufficient number for now. Idra did take a 1 stand-up fight, so if you look, he's got 5 pretty orangish Mutas, which means they don't want to take too much more punishment. There is a Thor at this 3rd. So if Idra tests the waters, which he just might... Oh,
he
no,
got the mules.
And there's a volley from that Thor. You gotta respect.
Gotta respect.
Yeah. Thank you. That's
Do you know what I love, though?
What's
See
up?
that production tab? Nah, go to the units tab now. 2 infestors out for Idra.
And 3 in production.
And 186 supply. Not too bad.
Versus a Marine tank bio composition. I mean, yeah, Thors were being mixed in. Actually, that got halted here a little bit. That is king. Like, those fungal growths do so much damage. Oh, no! They get tricked into it! They get baited. Hello. A little bit of a mistake from Idra. That's okay, though. Back at home, he's only got, what is this? This is 11 Mutas to join up with that force.
That is a pretty large army.
That's a lot of Mutas, man. And they're at 2 air attack, too. That's pretty good.
But the one thing I can say is I do believe Cloud has the upgrade advantage, and you know, that's one thing that you always check for when you are ahead.
A slight, though. He's at 1-1 because of the death of that armory. 2-2 is just now being started. Man, he had the brakes put on those upgrades.
Yeah.
I agree, though. If that were to get out of hand, that's a big problem for the Zerg, because Idra's been very slow about his upgrades. He's got 2-1 going now for his melee.
Yeah, he really allocated all the gas into units. We do see the infestors are out. And additionally, a lot of Baymans and units, which are all very costly gas units. But Idra, he is just all over Cloud like white on rice. Sir.
Yeah, Cloud can't leave his base.
No.
I mean, see, these Marines are just moving around. There's no blue on the map. There's no presence.
Like, well, just as you say that, Cloud pushes out.
He has to.
In control. This looks pretty scary.
Idra's max. He's moving in. He's going to
Oh,
I don't like that position. I don't like that position.
I don't like it either.
Oh no, Idra clumping up the Mutas and the infestors in the back. Very poor attack from Idra.
Yeah, some
and that
big fungal growths. Big fungal growths.
That's fungal Armageddon.
Oh,
they're so red.
They're so red in the cheek.
Idra, though, that was such an uncharacteristically bad attack. I mean, I don't know what to say. He must have just thought, well, I've been Muta harassing so well. This is, of course, you just need an A move to attack here. There's not a lot of medevacs. There's only 2 out. This whole bioforce is made of glass, essentially what that breaks down to. I mean, medevacs are working overtime. They're like, we are not getting paid enough for this. This is ridiculous.
But Corruptors are out in the field, and the Greater Spire is coming up as we speak.
Yeah, not a lot of time
He will
for
be
Cloud.
switching to Brood Lords, and as soon as that comes out, Cloud will have no response to these units. As I don't think, let's look back in his base, no, he doesn't even have Vikings.
Maybe he did such a bad attack to free up supply. No, probably not. It was just a bad attack.
No, it was pretty bad. Idra sucked.
Yeah. Wait till between the game, buddy. When we think the mic's off. Now, Cloud doing everything he can. I like this. Spacing out these tanks tremendously. Very slow push. If you look at some of his bio, is lagging behind. Some people, I mean, if this was the Broodlord days, would be like, that's terrible. It's a mistake. No, it's not. It's pretty calculated. And here we go. Broodlords have entered the field. No Vikings are here. There are some more big stim from the Marines getting up there. But
Fungal growth!
Oh!
GG instantly!
Let's talk about the game. Excellent play by Idra. The Muta Harass won him the position. Holding off that big push for all the Zerg players out there. Patience. You have got to have patience. When those tanks edge forward and they're vulnerable away from the Marine fire, get them. When the medevac is elevating 3 or 4 Marines up there, pick it off. But do not, I mean, one of the big things too was sweeping around and cutting off reinforcements. Yeah. They're not reinforcing with 35 Marines and 5 Thors. It's like 8 Marines, a medevac, and a tank. Yeah. You can take that out.
If you keep waiting, the position only gets stronger by quite a marginal degree.
Yes.
When a Terran clamps down in position, you have bunkers, you have turrets, and siege tanks. You're already in siege mode, and as you gain more and more and more siege tanks, they become more and more efficient. So you really want to stop any sort of reproduction to, or I should say reinforcements, to any sort of contain. stop that from going on, and let yourself get your own reinforcements, you've segregated
Or reproduction.
And you can just smash it through as soon as you get that second round of units, and that's exactly what Idra did.
Yeah, and I can't disagree. That's excellent analysis. Now, Cloud is falling 0-1. He is 1-0 in the group. He's in a tough spot. We will be going to Metalopolis, so right now, in Italy, I think, maybe Germany, he plays in the EPS. Somewhere in Europe. Right now, there's a man who's got his fingers crossed. He's going, close positions, please. Close positions. I need to rally the troops. Everyone from the future, think back positive thoughts. Think back positive thoughts. Let's join together. I want a macro game. I'm not necessarily rooting.
This is when we're praying.
I'm not like, oh man, Idra, I'm such an Idra fanboy. No. I'm a StarCraft 2 fanboy, and I love big, awesome, nice games. And I want a big, awesome, nice game. So please, let's do it together.
Got this.
In just a moment. Division number 5, week number 2 matchup between Evil Geniuses, the Kraken, and MYM Cloud, hailing from Italy, one of the finest in all of Europe, plays Terran. The map is Metalopolis, and we are so sad.
Yeah. Meet your maker.
You make me happy with the way you say that. I think
Thanks,
that's
sir.
awesome.
Close positions, though. Oh.
We are going to have Red Idra in the top right-hand corner. Well, yeah, okay, it's like 3 o'clock position. South of him, in the 6 o'clock position, is the Purple People Eater. Yeah, Idra will take care of that. Cloud's asking if there are close positions. Indeed there are. Little does he know. It is here. The close position. What team is Cloud on?
Meet your makers.
That's really good.
Thanks.
You gotta get, like a
I
Valve
practice
link
every
or
night.
something.
I practiced for this day.
You nailed it, man. As far as I'm
Thanks.
concerned.
Nailed it.
Okay, so Greetorb, you played Terran. You've had close to Metalopolis countless times. What are things Zergs do that give you a tough time here? What can Idra do?
Roach timings are really annoying because they do come at faster times, but not a lot of players do that. I would love to see some sort of 1 base or 2 base. 2 base is actually the harder one to deal with because it forces a bunker. The roaches are much stronger, and if you transition that with a roach zergling baneling bust, that could be one of the hardest rushes to stop.
You know what? Cloud's fast expanding. This is
that is advantage Zerg, by the way.
it's just not utilizing the map.
Oh, that is advantage Zerg.
Yeah, this is Idra has got to be tickled to find that.
Yeah.
So we talk about close positions at length, and I understand some of you might be a little bit tired of hearing that, but you're going to hear more about it. The reason that's so tough is because the Terran can be doing essentially anything behind that wall, and the Zerg needs to prepare for just about everything, and the more distance they have between their mains, the more they can accommodate that. Now, when you go ahead and just fast expand like this, it's pretty cut and dry. There is no Cloaked Banshee behind this. There is no 5 Blue Flame Hellions. It's just a fast expansion. So we will have that macro game. Now, the interesting place this develops from here is that, of course, as they build these tremendous economies, there's not a whole lot of places to go. They're going to have to hit. It's going to be like the perfect storm of awesome.
Now, it's up to Idra to actually bring the pressure, because if he lets this go, what's going to happen is that Cloud will get so strong, so fast. Getting this economy up, you get that push going at the... Well, if you're pushing at the same time, it's going to be much stronger. You can get a lot more units in there because you have your economy so much faster. This, of course, the double command centers. But Idra, he needs to do something to stop this. He cannot say, okay, I'm just going to macro normally, because if he does, he will be in a terrible position. I can expect a Roach Warren. I want to expect a Roach Warren. Or Mass Baneling Zergling. Either of those two, in this early game pressure, I would love to see from Idra.
Well, I actually absolutely agree with you, but I can also just say that Idra's philosophy is always that the longer the game goes, the more advantaged he is. He feels like his... I mean, he'd probably tell you he's the most mechanically sound player. He's one of the faster players. So the longer the game goes, the more those pristine actions, the speed, and just the raw physical play from him will separate him from his lesser foes. Again, I'll interject for Idra. He doesn't necessarily mean disrespect. He feels very confident in his own ability to play this game. And I tend to agree, but part of his problem, too, is that he's fairly predictable in that sense. So that's why in some tournaments we do see Idra busting out really super cheesy stuff, because the expectation is that he won't use it. And I think that's part of the reason, again, why we see Cloud doing such a macro-heavy and greedy build. I mean, quite frankly. Even 4 barracks right now.
Yes.
And against any kind of roach opening, I feel like that's pretty weak. Am I right?
It is. It's quite weak, especially the fact that he only got one gas. If you want to defend against a fast roach, you need 2 gas up to get that stim at ASAP. Because if you don't have stim against roaches, I know it's not terribly
there's that
effective,
stim, but
you need that stim out in time.
No combat shield.
It does look like, yeah, this stim is going to come up probably around 8 minutes, 30 seconds. Around.
He's actually, well, okay, a couple Mirages are being squeezed out here, too. I think this is like, everything about this screams just all-in aggression mass bio. Like,
yeah.
If he did, I mean, even the positioning of his bunker at his natural, or not bunker, but barracks,
yeah.
There's no intention of taking these gases anytime terribly soon. It just doesn't make sense because it's blocking it off.
And we have a Keurig style coming from Idra. We can see the lair
it's
is
like a blind
up,
counter. It's really,
and a Baneling nest making the centrifugal hooks.
Well, it depends on the timing, actually. This is a blind counter if he meets the bio outside this wall, but if he tries to bust this base, these barracks will put a stop to that pretty quick.
Yeah.
Now, I trust Idra's going to scout that. He's got Lings in position just outside the Terran base. He's not going to be like, well, time to go.
He's going to kill those 2 barracks. And I know this because he's committed all of his queens to larva injects. And when you do that, you're only doing a timing because you're not looking to say, oh, I need creep spread all around the place. He's saying, I need to bust this right now, and this is the timing I'm going for. That's
a lot of Banelings.
Cannot. I mean,
he
has
lifted
nothing.
him.
Ooh, that is not good for Cloud. That's for sure.
Oh, Cloud. And he's adding a factory just now, as well as another barracks. He's just going to be pure marine. And oh my gosh, he might even be pushing out here. Cloud, I hate to rain on your day, but you are about to, what's the word for when Cloud breaks up? Dissipate?
Yeah.
You're about to dissipate, buddy.
Dissipate's pretty good. Yeah,
he did scan. Oh, and he stims! He wants it! He's going for it!
Now, these are going to cup around all the Marines,
that's
and the Banelings are going to do all the damage.
Oh my god.
GG, all of those units. Cloud is not looking good as one bunker. He doesn't even stay in the game. And Idra takes that very decisively. I say that a lot, decisively, but he took it pretty decisively. He took it with force.
Dude, he scanned, sees a bajillion Zerglings and Banelings, and I guess what must have gone through his head as well, that's all she wrote. Because that's what he did. He just stemmed and ran forward, and it took about 3 seconds for all of them to die. It wasn't even close. It's not like there's nobody who's sitting at home going, man, why didn't Cloud just move the Marauder to here and then the Marines spread out? No, he was dead. There's no way to come out on top. No combat shield. He stemmed. 1/4 of his health. He's outnumbered 3-1.
Yep.
It was just a build order loss, and I mean,
you know, that's the trouble with going a Marine Marauder opening. The Keurig style with going mass Zergling Baneling, it's very economic. And on top of that, if you try to push out, you're screwed.
That's what Quairas talked about in week 1. He did this. He did a similar style. It wasn't.
It dies to the Keurig's build.
The expansion 100%. Wasn't quite as fast. But he said the same thing. He said against the Keurig's build, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
So that's going to do it for that matchup. Evil Genius's Idra, in rather quick succession, takes down NYM Cloud 2-0. He will advance to 2-0 in the group. Now, that first game was very entertaining. Second game, not so much, unfortunately. A little exciting there, but hopefully you guys did enjoy. We're going to go right into the next matchup. Please stay tuned, and we'll see you soon.